just a nice segue there because Conor McGregor was in that one. You've been linked to a fight with him for a long time. You got a chance to be on the Ultimate Fighter, interact with them, size them up a little bit. So, what was your, I guess, interactions with Conor McGregor during that filming process?
My interactions were, pretty cordial. Obviously he does a good job of turning it on for the cameras, so to speak. And then when the cameras go off, he's, a little bit more normal, a little bit less confrontational. But I think there's just a huge level of respect between Connor and I. It, contrary to popular belief, yeah, there's some animosity here and there in this sport. Obviously, some guys legitimately don't like each other. But man, you don't have to hate somebody to want to go out there and finish them in a fight. It's just theatrics and stuff at that point sometimes. But Connor and I have a lot of respect for each other, and I think that's why you're seeing this fight stay alive, and why we're talking about this fight at the White House in June or July of next year, whenever it is. But we won't know for a couple months, and we'll all be waiting on pins and needles.
And also, you had that fight fall through. It was supposed to be International Fight Week, a headliner. So, when you see like what's gonna be maybe coming out of it, being a headliner at the White House, like, is it, you look at it maybe fate, and it's maybe it wasn't meant to be there, but you look at the White House, and I'm sure that for you as an American fighter, that would be like the pinnacle of where to fight, and just the honor of being a part of that event.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know where my faith lies, and I think sometimes a no is sometimes just a not yet, and sometimes you got to thank God for unanswered prayers, and sometimes the biggest letdowns turn into become the biggest blessings. So yeah, I mean, if you look at it and it all works out that way, you look back and say, man, if a bad thing happens to you, but a good thing comes from it, you got to ask yourself, was it really a bad thing? And I've seen that happen in my life millions and millions of times. So I think I've just really kind of taking the old proverb, the old maybe proverb, to heart these days, where when something happens to you, whether it's good or bad, and you got everybody saying, "Oh man, I feel so bad for you that happened," you're like, "Well, maybe." Or if something really great happens to you, everyone's pumping your tires and they're all pumped up for you. They're like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you." And you're like, "Well, maybe," because you never quite know how things are going to work out. You never know. Things that were perceived awesome turn out to be not so great, and things that were perceived tragedies turn out to be awesome for you. And it's happened to me in my lifetime and time again. And I think it would be an awesome storybook ending to not my career, but the story of the saga of the Ultimate Fighter 31, Chandler versus McGregor, kind of close that chapter on the South Lawn of the White House.